on this beautiful day. It's so nice to see each of you, and thank you. It's going to be a beautiful contemplative service today, and I hope you enjoy each part of it. I think it will touch you deeply. We come together today with open hearts, acknowledging and recognizing the Christ presence that is here for us, residing in us, and is active as every one of us. With gratitude, we gather as creative partners with life. We open our awareness to the one presence that embodies our whole being. We also open to the connection that exists between each one of us in this universal web of intelligence as we move from me to we. We embrace our unity with all in the energy and compassion, and kindness. We invite this divine energy to rise within us while also extending it outward to connect with the earth and all sentient beings. This uniting spirit of oneness, this I am presence we call the Christ. And I'll say this for us once, and then if we can repeat this together. There is only one presence and one power active as the universe and as our lives, the all-knowing goodness of God. All is well. And if we can say that together. There's only one presence and one power active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. Well, welcome everyone, and my name is Shari Humes, and I am your service assistant today. Our music ministry is pretty amazing today. We have Kathy Murray, who we know, she's with us, and also Marcia will be doing some music, but we have two special guests. We have Larry Humes on French horn and Eva McClain on cello. And they'll be providing some beautiful music for you today. Yeah. The message is being given by Frank.
It has to do really with prayer today. We're talking about prayer. What's always fun is I feel like we're all prayers. And every now and then I go back and take a look at what am I doing? And how is this form? It's one of these things where, like all practices, it's nice to circle back and see what our hearts are asking. You all have a prayer request form. Please do not fill it out yet. I know some of you have already stuck it in the box. You're jumping the gun. Okay, we'll get there. Because we're going to talk about it in a way that to refresh our sense of our hearts and a way to stand in the energy of prayer and put it forward. And we'll talk about that.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Soul, when I pray, I I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
Jesus spoke the words to pray, go into the inner chamber and shut the door. We each have an inner chamber when we focus, allow the truth, knowing that Source Divine is near. We ask, not plead, but ask for the highest best, for what is important in that moment, in this moment. Imagine walking up to your inner chamber and shutting the door. Speak your desires, knowing all is received by Spirit Divine. In prayer, hold your faith that what you have asked for is in motion, like a stream, a flow of new life experience. And this we pray. Amen. And now let us shift into a time of meditation. So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Just get yourself comfortable. The next minutes of meditation are just for you to relax and renew, to find clarity within, to quiet and allow solace within. Begin by taking 3 deep breaths and release each breath slowly. Then continue to follow your breath. As you follow your breath, you rise above consciousness of time and space. Here is where unlimited possibilities exist. Think of Spirit as the tree, and you are the branches. Among the leaves on your branches are the seeds you hold that are infinite possibilities. You are love, and you have unlimited potential. Awaken within that which is source is also you. Take the next few minutes of silence to go into your inner chamber. Explore possibilities for deeper clarity, increased wellness, peacefulness. You choose. Follow your breath into the silence.
Well, I have something to share, although I kind of want to go sit some more and just stay in that energy. It's really beautiful. My daughter, by the way, played cello, and she learned a lot of Karl Jenkins music, the person who wrote that song that you guys did, Eva and Larry. I used to long car trips. Mass of the Strong Man, I think it comes from. Karl Jenkins. Whew. Really well done. Thank you, guys. I wanted to talk today about prayer, and especially in relationship to Unity's prayer ministry. There's a long history. I mean, those of you who are familiar with Unity, with the couple Myrtle, Charles Fillmore, Myrtle heard a talk, E.B. Weeks, and she had a lifelong disease. She was told she wouldn't live very long, and they said it was tuberculosis. We don't know. I mean, that time, maybe how we would diagnose things would be different. And she heard this E.B. Weeks say at a talk, you are a child of the divine. You don't inherit sickness. You don't inherit you inherit your divine nature, which is wholeness and healedness and fullness and abundance. You do not inherit sickness. And so she started this process of sitting in a chair and looking at all the parts of her body and seeing them in their wholeness and telling them and affirming for them their wholeness and affirming this one nature. So I want to share with you a bit of that path and a bit of a way we might consider prayer. I would not be so arrogant as to say, this is the way to pray. Oh my gosh. This is a big world, a big discussion, a big experience of how people want to pray. And however we're praying, the fact that we're doing it is a great thing. And I want to suggest to you a way maybe we can look at to power up our prayer life. And here would be some very simple steps. First off, we get into an energy of openness. Kind of let the energy of our day. This happens for me a lot first thing in the morning. It's just like when things are calm and if I've let go and I'm not waking up too stressed about anything, just openness now. And it's a very simple kind of, I don't know if it's a formula, but a process for me. I start with God is, and I am. And then after that comes a statement of a truth statement. And one way you can think of it is, you could think, well, here's something I do. I can make a C. Try this with me. I can. Just make a C with your fingers. Yeah. I can. I have. So you're making an H. You see it right here. An H. And I know. You see my fun K? Yeah. I can, I have, I know. It seems like I can't remember things unless I put them in my body somehow. That's why I'm always moving my hands. That's how I remember things, right? God is, I am. Try this with me. God is, I am. I can, I have, I know. And then after making that statement of truth, just be grateful. So let me give you an example so you know what I'm talking about. What might be a common example? Maybe there's somebody you don't get along with really well. And does that not apply to anybody? You can raise your hand. I'd like to talk to you how you did that. So maybe there's, because, you go to work, you go to the store, there's somebody you deal with on a normal basis, somebody in your family, somebody you're on the phone with, somebody you need to deal with on a work basis, or, however it is. Somehow there's something not working out really well. So, of course, you could say a prayer something like this. God, I'd sure like you to fix that person so that I can get along with them better. I would suggest that's probably not going to work, mostly because it's really not fair to suggest to some divine being to steal someone's agency. People are on their own path. They get their own experience. But what if it could be something like this, let's state the nature of God in this particular case. And there's no right or wrong. Matter of fact, I practiced this a few times, and I realize every time it comes out different. So it depends on the situation, but you could start with God is, and what is the nature of the divine? What is the nature of God? God is the energy of eternal peace, eternal harmony, eternally connectedness, the eternal robust energy of a resonance of co-creation and relationship and balance. So this is the nature of God. Therefore, I am that. I am harmonious. I am co-creative. I am a partner. I am possible to work out in harmony with other people what needs to happen. So I'm going to go see this person I'm struggling with. I can show up as my best self, ready to be all that nature of God, harmonious, resonant, balanced, strong, centered, because this is the nature of the divine. This is the nature of God. Therefore, it's my nature. I can do that. I can, I have the capability, because I've done this before. And even if maybe it frightens me or I'm unsure of myself, or I've sometimes made mistakes in this regard, or maybe I've said the wrong thing or things haven't worked out, I have the ability to show up in the attribute of the divine flow and bring harmony to a situation. I have that ability. I have it. And I know from my experience that when I stand in that energy of the divine flow of love and connection and harmony and balance and community and co-creativity, I know that that has an effect in the world, not only in that particular relationship, in all my relationships, and actually what happens to me and what I change in my consciousness touches the collective consciousness and moves out and actually adjusts the world towards that higher good. And I say that in humility. Do I know everything? No, of course not. Can I understand how my actions are going to go out and work in the web of interconnectedness? Who can know all that? Can I have the faith, though, that if I do this in the resonance of the connection and the harmonization with the divine, that this is going to go forth and do the good that it is assigned to do? I can have trust in that, in humility, but I can have trust in that. And so I say the prayer, I'm having a problem, pick the person. I see the divine essence, and I am that very energy of harmony. I can go forth, I'm going to meet this person today, and I can go forth. I can be that presence to this person. I have the ability to show up in that way, and I know that when I show up as the divine harmony, that energy has power, has potentiality to change and adjust the situation for the highest good. I may not be able to control whether or not I'm going to get in an argument with this person again. That's not the point. I might, but I can still show up in that divine harmony. I do have the capability to do it as a mature person, and I know that it will have the effect it intends to do, whether that happens today, tomorrow, next year, or a month. This energy goes forth, it's harmonization energy, this co-creative energy, this loving energy will go forth and do the work it needs to do. That's my truth. And in that energy of claiming that truth, there's a resonance that goes forward and impacts the situation. And then I can rest knowing that I've done what's mine to do in prayer, and it's going to go forth and do its good work in ways that so often surprise us. That ways might surprise us that instantaneously we see a difference, or a week later we see a difference, or somehow we look back on a relationship and you go, you know what? That took a few months. That took a year. It took some time. But in that energy of that flow of the divine potential, it moves forward to do what it needs to do. I'm not praying for that other person to change. That's their work. I'm just praying I'm showing up to be in harmony and to be supportive in what I can do and what's my responsibility to show up into that way, to be supportive in that relationship. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we have a prayer. Don't fill out your prayer request yet, please. And by the way, the prayer request, it says request. Shari and I were talking about this. It's not a request like, here's my request, God, this is what I want you to do. It's a prayer request because whatever we put on these forms that I gave you go into our prayer box, and we are requesting others to pray with us. It's a request to join us in this prayer for this issue, this concern, this situation that we see, and we're asking, would you hold us in prayer here's my prayer request. Would you also hold us together in prayer? Well, I'm going to show you something. If you'd put the screen down, AV room. Just a little video, because in unity, in the foundation of unity, there was, we mentioned Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. Way back in the late 1800s, they started this ministry where they prayed with people. The whole thing of unity was 2 parts. They'd publish a magazine and they'd publish works about this new thought, this prayer concept, this way of being influential in the world, this spiritual path. And they prayed with people. At first, they just started a place where they'd come together and pray, and then it expanded into telephone, and expanded into, it just kept expanding. But I'll let them tell you the story. It's just a 3-minute video on silent unity.
World. Since 1890, we've been praying with everyone who asks. Our prayer support started with letter writing, but evolved to include telephones, and now has expanded to the internet and social media. I'd like to take a moment to tell you how it works and what to expect when you contact the prayer ministry. Whichever method you choose, know that Unity prays with you confidentially and at no charge, believing God is everywhere present and active in and through our lives. When you call the prayer ministry, you'll be given a choice to speak with someone or simply listen to a recorded prayer. Many people enjoy speaking personally with a prayer associate who will listen to your concerns and pray with you on the phone. But if you'd rather not talk in person, you may choose to be comforted by a beautiful recorded prayer. Using the phone, you can connect day or night by calling 816-969-2000. You'll get the greatest benefit from your prayer session by clearing a little space before you call. Turn off the television, pause from your activities, find a quiet corner, and dedicate this time for spiritual realization. You'll be ready and receptive for prayer. Another way is to go online. Type in unity.org/prayer to find all the information about the prayer ministry known as Silent Unity. You may submit a prayer request online and receive a response by email, or simply remain anonymous. You'll even find us on Facebook. If you post a prayer need, we'll respond to you on Facebook and put your name in our prayer vigil. No matter how or when you contact the Unity Prayer Ministry, you are lovingly enfolded in prayer from the first moment. Your request is placed in the Silent Unity Prayer Vigil Chapel for 30 days of continuous prayer. That's right. Someone on the Unity Prayer team is sitting in silent prayer every minute of every day, upholding you, your loved ones, and all who have asked for prayer support. For more than a century, the Unity Prayer Ministry has been the light that shines for you. Reach out to us for any concern. We'll pray with you in heartache and in celebration too. Whatever your beliefs, whatever is happening in your life, we are here for you, so you can be a light in your world.
On the form I gave you, there's a phone number, and that's a 24/7 number. And that prayer ministry has been going on for more than 100 years. So pretty fascinating.
Time of healing prayer based on the Silent Unity tradition.
Might even want to, what I've done is put that phone number in my favorites on my phone. And there's been times like late at night, something happened, something kind of emergency, something that's been very frightening. And first thing I do is I call that number, and they'll sit there and they'll pray with you wherever you are. And their prayer presence is quite fantastic. I also have the app on the phone, of course. Anytime you just want, you don't even need to get an answer back. You don't need to do anything. Just send the prayer. There's a room they have, and it's a large room, and it's surrounded by little drawers. Have you been there, Sandra? Reverend Sandra? Yeah. Have you been able to sit in that prayer room? Yeah, beautiful. Usually like it's an hour shift or something, I think, half hour. People take turns all night. They sit there in silence, and all those prayer requests come in. What we do here is when we fill out a prayer request on that piece of paper, and you put it in the box, which we have over here, and usually is right in the front door. About once a month, a chaplain will take those prayer requests out, put them in an envelope, and we just mail them to Silent Unity, where they're put into that chapel. And then for another 30 days, they're just held in that prayer consciousness at that place. And when you get there, and I hope all of you sometime get a chance, maybe go to Kansas City, yeah? Donnell, Quinn, you heading that way, yeah? To stop by the chapel and just spend some time in that Unity, Silent Unity chapel, and just feel that energy. It's quite remarkable. I wanted to show you just a few slides as part of this talk, because there's this energy of the I am. You know, God is and I am. Oh, I think I have the clicker, actually. I'm waiting for them to do something. I've got the power. How about forward? There we go. This is a picture from Artemis. The capsule was the Orion capsule. This was just happened this month, I think earlier in the month. And I show this picture because what it did for me, and I just see what it does for you, but it just really made me realize that I have a perspective, and I can change my perspective, and it can be so different. And we pray sometimes with so much certainty that the moon, you look off and the moon's rising around the earth, and then you sit up in the moon and you watch the earth rise around it. Totally changes the consciousness, totally changes the perspective. Sitting on the moon, or they were near the moon, watching the earth rise. It also brings up a consciousness. When you go, God is and I am, what does this tell you about the divine nature? And what does this tell you about the eternal, the infinite nature, and how it changes our sense of us versus them in a world that can sometimes be at war? And then when you look at a picture of the world, of our planet, you realize, where's the us and them? It's all just us. It's all just this wholeness of humanity on one beautiful blue marble sitting out in space. We change when we go to say God is, what I'm suggesting is we might change our perspective of God, change our sense of the grandness, the grandiosity, the possibility, the potentiality of the divine. This is a rendition of our Milky Way galaxy. We haven't ever sent up, it would take 20,000 light years to get far enough away to look back on the galaxy. So that isn't happening. But we have enough on our telescopes to kind of have a really good sense. We basically have 4, if you can count them, there's like 4 major wings of our Milky Way galaxy. And from one side to the other is about 120,000 light years. If you could go as fast as the speed of light, it would take you 120,000 years. 120 million years to get across. I'm sorry, I used my numbers right. The numbers are so big, it's weird. They say we have something like 100 billion to 400 billion stars in the Milky Way. Recently, because of Hubble and the James Webb Telescope, we think there's something like maybe 20 trillion galaxies in the world. You want to pray from the consciousness of abundance, and you start with God is the abundance of all the possibilities, all the potentiality, all that is. God, and I am the energy of the universe, just use your galaxy, the energy of the galaxy is the very energy that not only that God is, that I can see, that I can know, but is the very energy that is flowing in and through me in the presence of me. All that potentiality, all that possibility is the nature of I am. And we pray from that energy It just changes the concepts of what's possible. By the way, this was yesterday. We had two feathers, thank you, doing the drumming circle. Thanks, Jane, for that beautiful gift you brought too, and for setting up and for the sandwich boards. And lots of kids showing up, neighbor kids walking in. Just up and down the street, we kept seeing streams of kids coming in. They saw the mini ponies, and of course, that's a big attraction. And then circling up with all the kids, and we had a fire out here for the energy. And we had some movies in here. I told you the popcorn story. Good movies. When we say God is, and we see this energy of the potentiality of just opening up some simple things for the neighborhood and the community and the love and the connection and the friendships and all that's possible simply by opening up the energy to each other. That God is and I am, and we circle up and people feel that. People know that. And finally, we talked about prayer and meditation. Just a simple slide that shows the sense, and this is 3 parts to this, the meditation, but the whole sense of connecting to the divine flow, not in some kind of heady understanding, but sinking into the heart and just knowing that God is aspects of consciousness that goes beyond the rational explanation of things. And this is the realm where we create and we write and we go to silence, and even when we get dreams, what is that great unconscious, the divine consciousness coming through in all sorts of venues to us? Okay, J. Scott, that's good. You can lift up the screen now. So here's I want to do a prayer, not as an example, but I actually thought, let's pray together for somebody. Because there's some people I think would be good to pray for today. And then when we're done with this, we're just going to have a minute where you can look at your own prayer form. And I want you, when you take your form, and there'll be a chance to walk up and put it in the prayer box. It's very simple. You start with, what is the issue? What is the thing? What is my concern? What's on my mind? And you will know, your intuition knows, what is the energy of the divine I need to call upon? Abundance, fullness, health for wholeness, community for connectedness, uncertainty in life, is it order? Is it wisdom? We know what it is. And to call forth from this sense of the greatness of God. So you might even put, my sister is having a surgery next week. And I just was thinking for her, and I put prayer requests, I put for Colleen. And I put order and the connection to wholeness. Just asking. And there's this energy we get when we connect to that wholeness. It's sort of what they say, gets over the hump. Enough energy where you really feel into it and go, wholeness. God is wholeness. I am that. I can hold that energy. I know it's the truth, and I can affirm it for her. So that's the kind of prayer you'd want to put. You can put a name, a concern, whatever, and just breathe that divine energy that you want for that. But for today, this wasn't part of the script, but since certain people showed up, I thought, can I ask you guys to come forward, Danelle and Quinn? Would you be so kind to come up? Can we pray for you? As a matter of fact, Jen and Cinda, would you come up as well? Would you mind? We'll pray for the moms too. So, come on, you guys. And the reason we're asking, do you want to, would you just say just like a couple sentences on the microphone what you guys are up to? No? Would you do it? Yeah. Yeah, he said no at first.
Yeah, so we are taking off in a van. We have downsized from a 4-bedroom house, and we're just kind of tired of living the normal day-to-day life, and the jobs didn't look great, and nothing was really calling to our soul, and she proposed the idea that we just, take off and in search of something new, different. And yeah, we plan on hitting like unities along the way, and then yeah, anything else to add?
I think we're trying to shift our entire being into the energy of abundance, and it's kind of one of those things, where it didn't feel like it was in alignment here, and we don't know where it's in alignment, but one place it is for sure is unity. That's been a huge place of abundance for us, so we're planning unity as a big part of our travels to see the other ones and hopefully make it to the home base and
Yeah.
check out that prayer center. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to hold that space. So,
And this has been extremely special. Our moms have come with us, and it's really kind of,
yeah,
really sweet.
it's been the place where we could all meet.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is gonna be one of the hardest things to leave.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So come here, all you guys, yeah, come right here in front, please, yeah. And Cinda is Danelle's mom, and Jen is, wait, Quinn's mom. Oh, I'm sorry, Jen is Danelle's mom, Cinda is Quinn's mom. So we have the moms, and so let's say a prayer for them as they go on their journey. So we'll do it a little bit formulaically, if you don't mind, just to practice. So I'm going to say, God is. What is the energy of the God is that you hear in their journey? God is what? Let's say it together. Abundant. What else? Playful. What's that? The God of adventure. Yes, yeah. What else? With you all the way. Richness, the God of richness, the God of creativity, the God of abundance, the God of curiosity. Yes, divine curiosity, divine playfulness, and divine pleasure. Love it. Yes. What else? Wisdom. Oh, calling on thank you. That too. And all these things we call upon, that's one of our 12 powers, wisdom, fine judgment. And also I'm thinking of the moms, the God that supports us, love, energetic support, not letting them go like you have a choice, but allowing yourselves to let them go and all that, yeah. So here's a prayer for your family, right? Safety, yeah, the fullness. So we affirm that there is one presence, and this presence is wisdom, and this presence is love, and this presence includes curiosity, playfulness, adventureness, moving forward, abundance, a transformation of life, and this God is blessing your whole family. We know that, and it is flowing in us, it is flowing in you, it is flowing to all of us. It is the nature of all of us. We understand this power, we understand this energy, this wisdom that arises up, that knows what it is for ours to do, that knows how to support each other in this energy. We affirm this playfulness, this curiosity, this abundance that sets us forth with courage into the next phase of our life. This is the energy we see in you. We claim for ourselves, we claim for you. We send you on your way with this energy as a unity community. We've sort of been your nest, I think. We send you forward as our emissaries to go forward. Yeah, we acknowledge, we affirm you can do this with the fullness of spirit, with the fullness of curiosity, that courage will guide your way. You have the courage, the insight, the wisdom, the fortitude, the insight, the curiosity to go forward and expand this energy of your family and all that's possible. And we know that this is the right next step for you. However it unfolds, we know it is your truth. We affirm you and we congratulate you for being honest and courageous to follow the journey of your heart. And as a community, as your unity community, we send you forward. Please, we affirm you. Be our emissaries. Be the energy. Write us. Let us know of this journey. Affirm this beautiful experience, and we can't wait. We stand in joyful anticipation of hearing how how this is going to turn out so abundantly. We know it's the truth. We know it's your path. We affirm this for you. It's unfolding to your good, and it is assured. There's this mighty, mighty presence of the divine. It is beyond, it is mysterious, and it says, don't worry, you can use me, says God. Use me, lean into me, call upon this energy, and go forth and do what's yours to do. Go forth and do this ministry that is yours to do. Yeah, enjoy. And know that this community's got your back. We're here with you in prayer and consciousness going forward. And so it is. And we love you guys. We're so happy for you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, your turn. Now we'll just take your cards. And Kathy, maybe you can just play piano while people bring forward their prayer request. No, just before we end, we're just going to give people a chance to bring up their prayer request. Oh, let's do it while you're doing your song. That's beautiful. Okay. So now with your prayer request, it can be a name, a presence, an attribute, a power. And when you're ready, if you feel comfortable, you can bring it up and put it in the prayer box. But now, if you'd like to join me in our closing prayer for protection, if you feel like standing up, and we'll put our whole energy into it. You need prayer for protection. You ready? You can put out your hands. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yeah, go in peace, everyone. Thank you.